Yes, we're welcome back to AFTV. Join us for the preview of the Arsenal versus Bournemouth at 12:30 kickoff here at the Emirates this Saturday. It's Laurie, it's Guna Lee. This Saturday, we're hoping Arteta will turn Iriola's cherries to a lovely smoothie. Yeah, so we blend them out, get the win, we move on. Life's good. Right, let's start, boys. Firstly, it's first versus I think 13th Bournemouth have sat in the Premier League this season. Is this as simple as we turn up and we win this game, we're a better team than them? When I last saw you were saying we better not lose to Southampton, because he'll find out the anger. We didn't beat Southampton, we're out of 2 cups. It's good to have you back, but how are you feeling ahead of this game?
Do you know what? You know, your first comment you made, you can't really trust Arsenal, man. Like, you can't say if Arsenal turn up, because when do we really turn up and perform? Okay, fine, the results are getting, the results are masking the performances, but really and truly, look, it's hard to kind of really complain about anything. We're top of the league, and we did beat Sporting 2 days ago, but if you're really nitpicking, if you want to be the best of the best, everyone's getting onto me about the eternal glory.
Well, I was going to say that. Are you disappointed as a fan? Because we was one step. You said actually this could be the first step to eternal glory. Obviously, that step we tripped and fell and bust our head. So are you disappointed as an Arsenal fan that hasn't been that? Or do you, like you just said there, you've got context? Because you keep saying, and you're right to say, the results are still fine. We've won our last 4 in the Premier League and drawn our 5th. So we're on course of getting 5 out of 5 wins in the league. The results are good. We're top of the Premier League. So, but are you still hurting because it could be a lot more? Or
do you know what? I'm over the results. I just hate the way we play. I just want a little bit more pizzazz. I just want like something.
You're not going to get that though. Till the end of the season. We got to come to as fans and understand it's not going to be.
We're not, and that's just I think. Look, anyone can lose a game. Man City can lose a game. Southampton, stuff can happen, right? Yeah. But it's just the way we play, with the money we spent and with the amount of resources and stuff that we've got. You shouldn't have a 16-year-old being your best player, and that's just the way I'm gonna probably leave it in that. Because if I say too much, boy, I don't know, man. They might AFTV not fight me up.
Well, we keep getting clips of what we say here, but that's what it's part of it. It's what this industry we're in. Laurie, coming to you on this, then, is it as simple as your man always likes to respect teams, but first versus 13th, Arsenal, top of the league, going for the title, 7 games left. I had your brother in Portugal saying they don't need more motivation. These men could be heroes, legends, if they get it over the line. All they got to do is lock in for the last 7 games. Is it as simple as that, or is Bournemouth going to potentially cause us some trouble?
No, it's not as simple as that. I mean, we're in a strong position. We're 9 points clear, and I've already done my sums. If we got 7 games left, right? If we was to win 5 of those 7, regardless of what City do, we win the league. Yeah. But then 5 out of 7 is not as easy as it sounds. It doesn't even sound easy, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So no, listen, Bournemouth are a good team, man. I mean, at the end of the day, I think there's something like 11 games unbeaten. Most of those are draws.
Well, not all, sorry, about 6. I think 6 of them are draws.
I think what it is, 11 games unbeaten, 4 wins and 7 draws. So they're draw specialists. But a draw at home for us will be like a loss.
That was my next question.
We need the win. But I think we can get it, man.
Okay, well, I will ask that question. Before I do that, if we do lose this game, a lot of Arsenal fans are going to want to go hiding. And the best way to go hiding, I mean, this preview is brought to you by NordVPN.
Saturday, 3 o'clock. What have I got to watch? Gardening shows. Yeah.
Yo, Rob, you watching this game? Bro, Eze's on fire.
How are you watching that? You can't watch 3 o'clock games in the UK.
Bro, what do you mean? I'm watching the full game now, live.
How though? You're not abroad?
No, bro, with NordVPN, my laptop thinks I am, but with one click, boom, I'm on holiday.
Are you serious? I'm here watching someone plant potatoes, and you're watching Eze tearing it up.
No, I ain't having that.
I'm only joking with you. You know we can't do that in the UK. But if I wanted to, it would work perfectly. Bro, whether it's football, soaps, you know me, Love Island when we're away, you know what I mean? All those things, whatever your family's into, NordVPN's got you covered. And with Threat Protection Pro, there's none of that cyber nonsense, no scammers, none of that, just smooth streaming. So hurry up and get involved, bro. Come on, you're missing out.
All right, I'm convinced. I'm signing up right now. Go to NordVPN/AFTV for an exclusive deal.
A nice little seamless little intro there to them. I'm using it right now. You may not be able to see, but I'm currently in New York in the United States. I always use NordVPN. It's close to my heart, obviously.
And let me tell you now, if we don't win, I'll be using that NordVPN to go to America with it, because I'll tell you what.
Oh, you actually be there. You won't be you won't be putting your locations there. You'll be
I'm going there. I'm taking NordVPN with me because, bro, listen, man, we've got to get over the line. We've got to get over the line.
I sense a bit of
man.
nervousness.
Massively, man. Massively, like.
And it's because of the way we're playing.
The way we're playing, the only thing that is secure is that NordVPN. That's the only thing that is secure.
From malware and all the people trying to get your information.
Honestly, that's the only thing that I'm feeling secure of in life these days, man, in my business, because anything else to do with football, it's just shaky, bro.
I think, you know what it is? I think the nervousness is understandable, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, this would be our first title in 20 odd years. Mm-hmm. We've gone close before, 3 times on the trot, finished second, so we've not actually done it. So I can understand fans being nervous. But by extension, I can also understand the way we're playing, because the manager is set us up that we're very defensively responsible and we control possession in the vast majority of games. So we're not the most expansive. We're probably the most or the least error-prone side in the Premier League, which is why we're the top of the league.
Are we defensively secure? Like I feel like we concede in every game. We're open in midfield in a lot of games. Now I know we're tight. The players are tight. We've had almost the most amount of games that you can play in a season, right? We got to the Carabao Cup final. We got to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. With obviously all the games in the Premier League, all the games in the Champions League. So yes, these things weigh into factor, and I understand that, but are we secure? Do we feel like?
I mean, with Saliba and Gabriel, sometimes you feel more assured. I mean, of past couple of games in the cups, they weren't there, and
we've got the best defensive record in the Premier League. We haven't got that for nothing.
It's annoying because I know what you're feeling, but then there's Mikel Arteta, if he stood here, be like, yeah, but this.
Okay, right. Fine. These stats are great for this season, but are they all conquering? Is it the Chelsea 15 games?
I'm not really bothered about being at Chelsea.
No. I don't want it to be misconstrued what I'm saying. I don't care about the record at Chelsea, but that is an astounding stat. These stats that we have with our defensive record, I don't look at them and think they are amazing, superlative stats. I just look at them, they're the best of a bad bunch. So yes, we have the best stats this season, but last season, but I don't look at our team and think we are secure. Like, it is unbelievable. Like, we are not going to concede. It is like we were in the first half of the season where we weren't even getting shots against us. Now, it's almost like it's poor finishing. It's Raya saving us and doing Houdini saves and stuff. Do you know what I mean? That's just the way I feel. Like, and again, you have to be really critical but also be very careful the way you criticize Arsenal.
100%.
Why? Because we're top. Because we've had a magical season. But it could all still come to nothing.
No, that's the way I feel. That's the nervousness comes from. Is a draw a disastrous result, by the way?
I mean, Laurie said it, bro. It's a loss to me.
Wow.
A draw will be like a loss.
They are draw specialists, though, and Iria and Arteta are both from the Basque Country. It seems like their philosophy is like, if you can't win, don't lose. And you might see a boring sort of tactical game where that might be the case. A draw, if you're a better man, I think a lot of people go with a draw for this game. But so I asked you, is it a damaging result?
Xavi Alonso, he's from the Basque region as well. He doesn't play like that.
No. But when it comes to Bournemouth, I have done a little homework on them, and what they tend to do, they're more than happy to give you the ball.
Right.
They try and hit you on the counter, and that's exactly what they're going to try and do on Saturday. The onus will be on us to attack them. I mean, at the end of the day, you said yourself, they're 13th, very unlikely to qualify for Europe, whereas with us, everything's on the line. So the jeopardy
they're looking at Europe, though. They'll be going for Europe spot. They'll go for a spot.
But Laurie, let me ask you, right?
I think they're 4 points off 7.
That same comment you just made about we're going for something and they're probably, you could say, on the edge of going for something in Europe. Who's got more pressure? Because exactly.
No,
so
it
probably plays into their hands. They can play free spirited. If they win, they lose. Nothing's gonna no skin off their nose. No skin off their nose.
That's what Southampton did. They said it was a free hit, and then look what they did to us. I need to ask you though. We are one game if we win this of 5 wins in a row in the Premier League. How many more wins? Because you kind of mentioned, do you think it takes to say this title's done?
Yeah, so
sorry, just jump in as well. Curtis said if we win this game this weekend, he thinks we win the league.
Well, it's not quite.
And if City drop
what
points,
it will do, it will relieve pressure when we play City the following week. Like I said, we've got 7 games left. If we win 5, irrespective of what City do, we will win the title.
Okay.
So it's important that we win games like our home games.
So
we
another
have to
5.
win them.
So another
The
5
home-
wins.
Yeah, all our home games we have to win them. And if you look at that 7 as well, they are winnable games.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? So City's by far the hardest one. So
I don't think
we
so,
need to
man.
start.
I
don't
really
think so?
don't
No,
so.
on paper, City
on
game is the
paper,
hardest
but
game.
I look at
It is,
Crystal
bro.
Palace away from home scares
That's the
living
last game
daylights
of the
out me.
season.
There's every game scares the life out of me because of the way we're playing, because of the way that we are. It used to be we can't play against low blocks. We can't play against anyone now because we're so devoid of ideas. And that's just I literally look at that the way that Arsenal are playing, and it just screams almost like panic stations. That's just what it screams to me. It doesn't scream we're going for the title. It screams that we're crawling, limping to this title that
There could be a little bit of what I call finishing line syndrome. You ever watch like a 5K race and there's a guy that's out in front and at first he's leaving everyone behind, and as they get closer and closer, they're catching him up, and he's still in the lead, but he's not as confident, he's faltering a little bit. That's what finishing line syndrome is.
Yeah,
But listen, I think we will win the league. I'm pretty confident we will. I get it. Some of the performance recently have not been good. I was at Wembley. You was at Wembley.
Yeah.
That was a poor performance.
So was I.
Oh, you was there
I was there
as
as well.
well. I mean, I wasn't at the Southampton game. I was at a wedding, but I watched that and we were poor in that game. But
My confidence has been knocked, I'll be honest. But I still think
those
we
were
do,
2 cup
we do
games.
get it
In the
done.
league, we have been good.
Yeah,
So
Let's talk players. Odegaard and Trossard were the 2 players that basically they came off in Sporting and replaced by the match winners, Havertz and Gabriel Martinelli. Martinelli with the assist, amazing assist, Havertz with the goal. I don't think Odegaard trained. I know that Eze's been caught training today. He was seen training today. Who starts firstly in that number 10 role? Because Max is also there as well.
It's not even a question for me.
So you just leave Max out of that conversation as well. Max Dowman.
If Eze's fit, he plays, bro. At the moment, he's by far our most creative player, with the exception of Dowman, but he'll play on the wing if he's going to play.
Would you start him on the wing? Who starts on the right wing? Noni Madueke, Max Dowman, or Bukayo? Say if Bukayo Saka's fit, even though he wasn't spotted training today.
If Saka's fit, he plays. With Max
He walked
Dowman,
straight back in for you.
Yes.
Wow.
With Dowman, listen, we all acknowledge what an outstanding player he is, and he should play, but I wouldn't start him. I don't think it's right to put that pressure on a 16-year-old. I really don't. I think that other players need to stand up. By all means, use Max as an impact player, but do not be putting all your hopes on the 6. It's not fair on him, and not only that, I'm worried that if you do that and he starts getting, you know what I mean, roughed up by senior pros, it's not good for his long-term development.
Who starts on the right for you against Bournemouth?
I feel like sometimes can we play with 10 men? Honestly,
On the right? No Noni, no Saka, but if it's Noni, Saka or Max.
I'd rather have Max in the 10. Honestly,
Seriously,
I
yeah?
really would.
Over your captain?
Eze?
Over Eze
I
as
don't
well?
think Eze's fit.
Yeah,
I'm just going off the premise. I
He
don't
trained,
think,
but I don't think he might not be
No,
100%.
but he's back to full training now.
I just don't think he's fit, mate. I don't know. I don't think he's fit.
So you'd want Max on the 10, and you
Yeah.
don't. And on the right, you what?
Can we do blind date? I don't know, bro. Like,
Bro.
honestly, Madueke stinks.
He played
Saka's-
well against Sporting. Saka hasn't been great. I'll give you that this season. But
A broken clock's right twice a day as well, right?
Wow.
Like, it is bad. It is.
I thought the other day against Sporting, Noni was our most
Right,
enterprising
okay.
forward.
Let me tell you, right?
in that game.
Martinelli, he's been horrible in the Premier League all season. When he gets to the cup competitions, he looks good.
It's unbelievable in the cups.
I don't want him playing. I don't want to see his face in the league. I don't want to see Kepa's face. I don't want to see certain players in this Premier League. I don't want to see them. So for me, you're right. Okay, look, they've done well in the Champions League. They've done well in the FA Cup. They've done well in the Carabao Cup. But in the league, it's horrible. There's too much information from these Premier League teams about Martinelli and Madueke. They don't perform. They're good on the continental stage. For
I
me,
think you're being a bit harsh on Noni, man. I do.
what? No, I'm not. He's been
think you are.
shocking. He's been horrible.
Yeah, I think people are overdoing a little bit of Noni,
Yeah, I
but
think they are.
I think he starts. I think he deserves to start on the right.
No, I would start Saka, 100%. If Saka's fit, I start.
Saka shouldn't be allowed to just walk back into this team. I'm sorry.
Why? Okay, right.
Because
why?
he hasn't been great this
No,
season.
he hasn't. But he's the best of
Yeah, he's the most talented player.
But when a player's in form, Noni's probably in form right now.
Not on form. What do you mean?
That last game,
Hey, clip that shit out. Clip that. Don't ever say that in front of
right?
me.
He played well against Sporting. You cannot deny
I
that.
thought he did
He was
play
the
well.
best attacking player in that game.
Hey,
Facts.
You know what annoys me, right? coming from a footballer, you saying that, actually irks me. Because if you think that he had a good performance in that game, knowing what...
Who was a better attacker against Sporting? Who was a better...
Right, okay, let me add some balance.
I was there in my own 2 eyes watching him run.
Hold on. Right, so listen, Cecil is right.
Facts.
On the night, he was our most enterprising forward.
Facts.
Yeah? However, where I would agree with you is that the end product needs to be
For 60 million, you think that's a good performance?
Forget, he didn't choose
no,
that's not his fault. He got signed for that. That's the club's fault.
Cool.
He does not choose the price he gets signed for.
When a player gets signed,
yes,
you have there's a whole sort of web of things that you have to judge a player on. The age, the experience, and you also talk about their wages. You have
wages, not the money he was brought in on. His wages aren't that high. His wages aren't that high. I think he's on 45 grand a week or something. There's probably on more than that, but it's the same money he was on at Chelsea.
Listen,
it's not a lot of money.
Wages are immaterial at this point.
For me,
what issue do you have with him?
Saka hasn't been. I can't believe Saka just walked straight back in.
But he's the best of the bad bunch we've got on the right hand side. By the way, he dribbles the ball out. He goes.
So if I said Max, then what? Because Max has been brilliant when he's played this season.
But you know what I find ironic? You mentioned the right side. That is actually functioning better than the left side. The left side is the problem.
What's it? What did they do? The young kids?
Yeah, that's this.
That left side.
The left side is the one stinking the joint out.
It is.
That left side. That's what the kids do these days, man. Shout out to the kids.
It is smelling.
But you know what? You know what it is, right? We do, as fans, I really think that we need to get behind it.
We have to.
Try and manifest these wins. Too much is being made of the negative stuff. We're in a fantastic position.
Agreed.
Even though the football, I agree with you, it's not, you watch the likes of PSG as I did when they played Liverpool and Bayern and them, man. And them man are at the cutting edge. They're like, wow, we're not doing that. But what we are doing is getting results. We're functional, we're winning games. And I'll be honest, people, if we win the title playing like that, I don't have a problem with it. Because
no one will care.
I'm old enough to remember when we were playing like this and winning titles. I'm also old enough to remember 3 years on the trot when we played really good football. At least one of those 3 seasons we played really good football. And we came up short and people said, oh, you haven't got it in you. You ain't, playing that type of football. You're not going to win anything. Now the manager's found a way of winning games, accumulating points, and if he wins a title, which I firmly believe he will, I've got no problem with it at all.
And listen, you're spot on there, and every fan probably agrees with that as well. And I don't think we'll play like this next season if we do win. It's just getting it over the line this season.
Who would you start on the right then? I know you're the host, but who would you start on the right? Because I said, my thing is, I would start Max in a 10 because I don't believe Eze's fit, and Odegaard, you didn't train.
No, but you said yourself you're putting too much pressure on a young kid.
No, I know, but
that is a lot of pressure.
Needs must. What else do you want me to do? I can't play anyone else. We don't have a 10.
If Eze's fit, he should.
No,
play.
I'm going off the premise he's not fit, right? Okay. So if we don't,
but he's in full training.
Yeah, but if he's not fit,
who's in full training?
Eze this morning.
You said that.
This morning.
This morning. Said he just came back from training.
He's trained this morning, but he may not be 100%.
On Saturday.
I think he will, but if he's not fit, Max Damon in 10, which I don't think Arteta will do because Odegaard's our captain but he's also injured from what I heard for after Sporting, and then I put Noni on the right.
The only other option I'm doing is I'm doing 4-4-2, Havertz and Gyökeres up.
Wow. So the whole formation.
Well, Havertz will be in a 10 role, but he's a forward. So it's 2 forwards and then just 4-4-2. I'm changing it a little bit.
Right.
Fair.
That was what I would do.
Because the other alternative would be, and he's done this in previous games, is to play Saka in the 10, but that's not really what I'm
No. Saka hasn't been on form. And listen, he needs to get back on form. We're going to need him in the back end of the season. We all are behind him.
He's not the only one.
But,
There's a few players.
Of course. Like you said, the left side.
White's not in good form. Odegaard's not in good form. Havertz has not been in good form. Martinelli, Trossard, the list goes on.
100%. Let me go to some match facts before we hear from Craig from up the cherries in all departments. Obviously a Bournemouth fan, he'll give us some more information around Bournemouth ahead of this game. What I know is Michael Oliver's going to be the ref. Annoying. That's going to be frustrating. So he's the ref this Saturday. Bournemouth are 11 games unbeaten. A lot of draws in there, but they are draw specialists like we mentioned before.
I heard Krupi might not be playing.
Which is
good news for us.
Because he pulled out for France under 21s that he might not be available. I'm actually hearing he's probably going to be here. He probably is going to be here. Obviously, that he's been amazing for them this season. Arsenal scored a lot of 2 or more goals here at home. In the last, I think, 6, they've scored 2 or more goals here at the Emirates. So, but I don't feel like we're going to score that many goals when it comes to this Saturday. But that's everything I kind of know.
We don't need to score a load of goals. If we score 1 and we don't concede, we win the game.
I know, and again, this is just me being the Arsenal fan, which is probably a bit more egotistical.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about Croupy. Like, I shouldn't be here worrying about Croupy. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have to. Oh my gosh, I shouldn't have to panic. But in my mind, I'm like, oh, do you know what? Croupy can do a thing against our midfield and against our defense, because yes, they're fantastic individuals, but we're not playing well as a team. So even that, it shows you. Look at those reactions. It shows you we're not playing well. It shows you.
I think we all have that same feeling. We all have a feeling of like, we're top of. I said this to Curtis yesterday. We're top of the league, but I don't. Not that I don't know how. I'm just like, it doesn't feel like we're a dominating team. But I actually think title races aren't ever. They're never enjoyable.
Okay,
unless you won it.
Let me tell you
early. I don't think they're ever enjoyable.
The best thing I ever heard on YouTube was from Matisse. Shout out to Matisse. He said, when you go through a league title, you have to go through adversity.
Of course.
You have to. So I 100%. I have 100, but not like this. This is agony now.
Come on, Lee. It's not.
Bro, look at the way we play.
We're still 9 points.
We got you're going like Southampton, bro.
Yeah, that's adversity, though. That's adversity.
Bro, we've been going through adversity since December.
That was the FA Cup.
That's the adversity.
That was the FA Cup.
Man United at home. Bro, look at.
Bro, we've only lost one game here all season, bro. Come on, Lee, man.
Liverpool at home, bro. I was here for the Liverpool game. Look at, bro, come on.
How do you go from emotion of one step from eternal glory, that emotion, to now you're like, it's all done. I'm on the floor.
Way we're playing, bro. You have to.
But
cool.
It's not going to change.
Okay, when we're in the stadium, right? We always say, there's always this argument: is it the fans that should gear up the players, or should the players gear up the fans? For me, I'm always on the players have to do something. Bro, the players have to show me I can be.
Fans have to play their part as well.
Yeah, no, they do.
We have done
the
recently.
Players have to show me that I can have my chest out and be loud and leery.
Yeah.
But they don't, bro. Look at the way that they play. You can't say. You
still
can't tell
9
me.
points clear.
Laurie, you know, and you know I'm very fair. You know, sometimes I can be, but like you know, no,
well, no,
fair,
you know what it is.
Come
You
on,
know what
bro.
it is.
Look at the way we play,
I
bro.
appreciate your honesty. I hear you. I feel you.
And then, you know, I keep it a buck all the time.
100.
But we could
what
win
I
the
would
league
say,
this way.
If you're in life, sometimes you just have to accept that you just got to get the job
Done. That's what I'm saying.
If we win the title, and again, like I said, which I fully expect us to do, there will be no asterisk against that title saying, but we didn't look
we didn't play
ultra
well yet.
convincing. It will be first title in 22
But they've got to do a little bit more to make me feel a bit more confident.
And
They
probably
don't.
will.
If they win it, they don't.
No. Right now, today, on the 8th of June, of May, April, you've got to do a little bit more, because if you're asking me how confident I feel, I'm not confident.
Did they play well against Sporting?
No, I mean,
Did they win?
Okay, fine, but that's a different. That's a different competition, right? That's a different.
No, but
that's all I'm saying.
I'm just using your example. We didn't play well. The optics of the game was pretty, let's be honest, very ordinary. Both teams, the quality wasn't great, but we got the win.
I like the back and forth. I like the passion. But let's hear from Craig from Up the Cherries and all departments. Just get his words around the Bournemouth game. Thank you, Craig, for joining me for this quick little preview on Bournemouth. Of course, you all know them a lot better than I do. Let's just start with how have you made of this season so far for Bournemouth?
It's been an interesting one, Cecil. We started off really, really well, mate. First game of the season, we lost against Liverpool. Went on a great run. I think one of the most pleasing results in the midst of that was our win against Fulham, where we was 1-0 down and then turned that game right on its head. We come back. And then we went into a slump. We was playing with so much confidence, so much vigour. We was on top of teams. We were dictating the style of play. And then all of a sudden, it just fell off a cliff. We were beaten by Manchester City, expected to get beat by them up at the Etihad. And then 4-0 against Villa. Worst performance of the season by far. The home game against Everton, not much better at all. And it seemed to be in that middle where there was a lot of talk about Antoine Semenyo and certain players potentially moving on. There seemed to be a loss of confidence. Now, we have come back in some decent form. We are unbeaten in 11, but don't let that scare Arsenal fans, because there's a big concern on my side, and that is that you look at our results. We've drawn 15 games so far this season. We are the draw specialists. We've won 9 yet, albeit we've won a couple more than the other team across a little bit further away from yourself. Spurs, I have to mention them, have to take the mick out of them. And we, apart from yourselves, Man City and Man United, we have, lost the least amount of games. But it's those draws, Cecil. Honestly, that is really what is harming us. And that is why, if we don't get Europe, we can pin it all down to that.
Yeah, I'll be honest. It's funny. Last season, Arsenal picked up a lot of draws, and that was my biggest frustration of last season,
Mm,
actually. But going into this game, how do you feel then? Do you take confidence? Because I spoke to a Southampton fan, similar to what I did with you,
yeah.
what I'm doing with you right now, and he said, "Look, this is a free hit for us. I don't expect us to beat you guys, but we
Mhm.
can get caught cold. We can have banana skin games. Is there any sense of, because every time I do these rival um, conversations, it seems like, oh no,
Yeah.
Arsenal the league, they're going to win the game quite comfortably. But I think there's frailties in Arsenal. Like you said, you're worried about the
Mhm.
draws. And listen, you're unbeaten in the last 14, but that doesn't paint the full story. I think that the same of Arsenal at times. Like we're not to the level that we could be at, even though we are winning a lot of games.
Yeah.
So yeah, are you looking? Did you look at a Southampton game and the Man City final and think, do you know what, Bournemouth might be able to get something? Or are you very much saying, I don't know.
Firstly, how the bloody hell did you get beat by them,
Ah,
Cecil? Honestly,
uh,
everybody in this town was an Arsenal fan that day, and I thought, yeah, this, it's definitely an Arsenal win. And
mm,
then what happened. I wouldn't say, like the Southampton fan said, that this is a free hit for Bournemouth
cool.
because we play very similar styles. We are high press teams. We're very, very quick. We'll
Mhm.
play down the wings. Of course, I've mentioned before about Mikel Arteta and Andoni Iraola being from the same area of Spain.
Yeah.
They both know each other quite well. So I wouldn't call it a free hit from our perspective. We go into this game knowing that Arsenal will want revenge for that Southampton defeat, but secondly, you are competing for the title and you are going to be dangerous regardless. But if we are on our top performance, there is a potential that we can get something. But
Mm,
we need to be better than what we have recently because don't, that I honestly stress to you, those 11 games without defeat, it's been, it looks fantastic on paper, but there's just too many draws in there. Do keep in mind, Burnley, we drew at Turf Moor. Really, we should be beating them. Sunderland should have had the beating of them. We were very fortunate to beat Everton.
yeah.
The Villa game, you could say that maybe we could have edged that a little bit. It's all these games that are collecting together to
Yeah.
really end in this disappointing result.
Okay, talk to me about this then, because obviously the last game
Mhm.
was at your place. It was quite a close encounter actually. Obviously, Declan Rice getting two
Yes.
goals, the kiss to the camera that Declan Rice done, and all that. It was a big game. It was there. It was nice to be down at the Vitality. But
Mhm.
for you, from your perspective, what should Arsenal fans know? What insight do you have that they might not know? So, for instance, Krupi, is he going to be
Mhm.
available? He's got pulled away. He got pulled out of the under 21s France because I don't know if
Yes.
his injury is. What information do you have that we may not know? Is there anything that's popped up that you've seen maybe in the press conference or in the week?
Justin Kluivert has been out for a long, long period of time, so
Yeah.
he's been a big, huge loss this season.
Yeah.
Nothing really more has been said about Krupi. We could do with him against Arsenal. We know the threats that he can and the issues that he can cause. He did have a fantastic game actually against yourselves when we played you at home, and I think he's going to be a massive loss if he is out. Um, Otherwise, we have got players coming back into the fold. Ben Gannon-Doak looks as if he's going to be able to get some game time under his belt, probably come off the bench in all honesty. So injury-wise, things are getting better,
Yeah.
and things are improving on that perspective. So hopefully we can see an upturn in results. The performances, what's weird about this is the
Mm.
performances have looked really good on the pitch. There's notable players that really have stood out to me this season. James Hill, you'll know James Hill very, very well.
Big up,
Um,
man. What a
he's
legend.
been brilliant. He's been absolutely brilliant. Diakite lost confidence, and I'd say it's more confidence than the loss of ability. He's got the ability inside himself, but the confidence, his head just dropped during that poor run. James Hill has come in. and he's really made that place his. With Marcos Senesi going to be leaving at the end of this season as well, I think that he is going to be a mainstay in that back line. Now, who is it that he pairs up against, or with, I should say? Is it going to be Milisakovic, who is an 18-year-old centre-back, very, very exciting, or will Diakite get his opportunity back? I'd like to see Diakite get his opportunity back, but, there's a lot of players that have stood out, and there's a lot of decent performances. However, it's just the draws, and we just seem to be lacking that cutting edge.
Okay. Craig, give me this then. Give me your give me before we go to your score prediction. Just give me how you think Bournemouth might be able to cause Arsenal problems. Is there something you've seen in either of the play? Like you said, Iriola and Arsenal are friends and stuff, and I think Iriola's a top class manager. Do you see a way you can get Arsenal, or do you think they're quite formidable and they're quite complete? That Bournemouth can affect us. Sorry. Yeah.
I think Arsenal are, and I'd be very, very surprised if you didn't win the league this year. I know I've said that the past couple of years. I'd like you to win the league. I think a lot of Arsenal fans are probably thinking I'm secret gunner as well. But I've got a bit of a soft spot for the club. But in all honesty, I think what we are going to probably do is we are going to play that high press. We are going to play with that intensity. We probably will take the game to Arsenal like we have been. But maybe we will try and stretch it. The big question really is Saka going to be playing against ourselves? The loss of Saka, I think is potentially a game changer.
Yeah, it was in training today, so I don't know. I think it might be too soon from them. They might put in Noni there as well in sporting. So interesting. Okay, give me your score prediction.
The heart says a 2-1 win for Bournemouth.
Well, okay, yep.
But the head. I'm gonna say this unbeaten run is gonna continue.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go with a 1-1 draw.
Okay.
But
this
is the thing, Cecil. A draw against Arsenal, a draw against Man United, a draw against the big teams is fine. A defeat or a draw against Burnley is not acceptable in our eyes.
Well, that's it. Well, listen, thank you so much for joining me, Craig, on this little segment that's going to be in the preview as well as they're watching it right now. So thank you so much. I'm now going to go back to the preview and try and sort out this cherry on my nose. So I'll see you again soon. Big up to Craig. Go check out his channel. Go check out his page. Let's get score predictions. There's been a lot of emotions. We have to get score predictions. And I can gauge then this feeling because I get it. Confidence might be not as high, but I still believe Arsenal can go on and win this league. Let's hope that is the case. Lee, we'll start with you. Score prediction. With all the energy you give, you should be predicting really honest. You keep it a buck, you say
1-1.
Do you know? No, that is. I hear that, by the way.
If that's what he feels,
I actually hear that.
And again, I don't want to be the negative Nancy. I genuinely I don't trust this team, bro. I don't.
Your nervousness is palpable. It's showing through.
The Carabao Cup was.
That's what
fans watching this will be like, just get out of it. They'll be getting angry.
I don't know, bro. And again,
I actually hear 1-1.
Do you know the one thing I'll say to fans that are watching, maybe international fans, yeah? And again, it's not a slight, but sometimes when you go to the game, when shit permeates through you, when you're there, you watch it. It's a different feeling than watching it on TV. I'm not saying you're less or more. Yeah. I'm just saying sometimes when you're there and you're seeing it live, it don't fill you with any enthusiasm or anything that you think, oh yeah, I can put my foot down and say we're gonna win it. I don't feel that, bro. So I have to go off what I'm seeing. What I'm seeing isn't anything for me to shout the houses around.
Yeah, but as Cecil pointed out, we've only lost once.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I said a draw. I didn't say we were gonna lose. I said we're gonna draw.
Right, this is how I feel. Back-to-back losses in the cup competitions, but we bounced back with a really good win against Sporting. I agree. The performance and the level of football wasn't great, but importantly we got the win. And if you notice, you saw the way the players and the manager reacted. I think we're going to carry that vibe forward to Saturday. Ground's going to be full, we all know that. I think it's going to be pumping. And I fancy Arsenal to win 2-0. I really do. I really do fancy them to win.
I hear the 1-1.
Especially if Eze's back, because Eze, just before the injury, he was playing so well. So I'm backing it.
I hear the 1-1. As much as, you know, we normally score 2 goals, kind of minimum in the last couple of games here at the Emirates. I'm gonna go 1-1. I hear it could be a draw. It'll be disastrous if it is.
So nervous?
No, because people know me. That's how I am. But I'm gonna go 1-0 Arsenal. I'm gonna go 1-0 Arsenal.
You know Eze. Why are you not on the blower to him
because
now?
you can't do
Why are you
can't
not?
do
I want to
that.
know, yeah.
We
If
can't
this
do that
guy's
to the
playing,
players,
I
bro.
want to know what the players are hit feet, bro. I want you to put him on the blow because
can't do
people
that.
don't know this guy's a celebrity. Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Can you put
I'm not.
Eze on the blow? No, this is serious because we need to have a real chat because it's not a joke. What's going on, bro? This is not a good. We need to win this league.
Bro, I know this.
So
I
if
know
we don't
this.
win on Saturday, it is.
They don't want to hear from me. Even I've got a friend. Remember,
bad.
I've got James Hill plays for Bournemouth. He's a regular starter centre back. Like,
And you better phone him and tell him, bro, because I'm telling you, I'm lock and loaded. I'm ready outside the stadium. He ain't leaving the stadium if he gets a full points, you know. So you better tell him, bro.
No,
I'm here for him. I'm putting man in a headlock.
I normally speak to people after games, but it's all well and good. Listen, that is our score predictions. That is the mood and the feeling. You can feel it through the camera when it comes to Lee, and probably myself. But let's hope everyone gets behind the boys and we can win this title. It's going to be a very, very important game this Saturday, 12:30 p.m. kickoff here at the Emirates against Bournemouth. Let's hope we get the win. And again, thank you to NordVPN for sponsoring this preview. Love.